Well, today is a big day. We got our Starlink internet box. So today I want to talk a little bit about real world internet out in the sticks and kind of what that involves, what we've been dealing with, and then we'll take a look at the Starlink internet and see how it performs versus the Exceed internet that we currently have and have had for the last 5 years. So when we moved to our current property, we're fairly remote and there was no internet options available for us. Many times when people move out of an area that has wired internet, they can still use cell phones, that sort of stuff. That was not an option where we're at. We are barely on the edge of cell phone service, and we're talking like 2G, 3G. So there was no hotspot options or anything like that available where we're at currently. So it was satellite internet or nothing. There were a few options we looked at the time. Exceed, HughesNet were the two big names, a couple other providers. We went with Exceed because they had the best package as far as speed and the amount of data that you were able to use. They've since revised the plan that we're on. We're still grandfathered into that old plan. They've been trying to get us to switch to a lesser plan, and we've been waiting for Starlink. So our current plan is 25 megabytes per second up to real world, we see 1 to 3. We can run a very grainy internet stream. We can just barely watch like a Netflix movie or YouTube or something like that, as long as nobody else in the house is using a phone or internet or anything like that. We can do a video stream for work. It is the same thing. Nobody else can be on anything within the house, and it's still very grainy and choppy. So I'm hopeful that this is the answer to all of our problems. So that's just kind of a synopsis of our issues that we've been dealing with, and we're hopeful that this is the answer to those. We've been on the waiting list for almost a year, and we finally have received our Starlink internet kit. So I'm going to go ahead and get this installed. It should be really simple. It'll point itself. All you gotta do is plug it in. So we're gonna go try it out. I'm actually gonna install this up on the roof, so we got it up, we have trees surrounding us obviously, and just make sure we get good height so we can get a good clear view of the sky. I don't have to, I could probably install it on the side of the house and still be fine, but I'm gonna go ahead and stick it up high where it's got a good shot and getting the best amount of signal coverage. All right, enough talking, let's do this. I ordered a pipe adapter kit from Starlink. I thought about looking online and purchasing one. I'm glad I didn't, because this actually has detents built in where the satellite dish will click in to stabilize it. So I'm going to be pole mounting this up above the roof. We have a metal roof on our house that acts kind of like a Faraday cage. And I just want to get up above that for any interference issues. So this is the pipe adapter, universal. It's going to go over this. These will get fastened down into it to stabilize that, and then it'll go up on the roof there. So I'll probably install this, get this all ready to go, and the very last thing, I'll just walk the satellite dish up and click it in place. We got it installed. Went ahead and cut the pipe down because it was sticking way up above the roof, a little further than I wanted. So went ahead and trimmed it down and got to the height above that I would like. Just installing the cable. They give you these little clips, so I'm getting those put in. While I was up here, my wife asked me if I could clean the window since it's on the second story, so I'm doing that too. I'm underneath the desk upstairs right now, and I'm going to poke a hole through the wall. I've got a small little drill bit, and we'll use that to make sure I'm where I want to be on the outside. I've roughly measured it. If we're good, then I'm going to proceed with this larger bit and just make sure I'm not hitting any wires or anything like that. There we are. Perfect. On the install kit, they've given us this fancy little doodad so we can fit that over the end of our cable, stick that on there, and then now fish this through the wall. That's super handy. Well, this big plug is getting caught on the backside. Come on. I gotta go back in on the other side and finish fishing that. It's getting caught up. They give you an absolute ton of cable with this thing. I guess because the end are already fixed, everything's already done for you, which is nice in one sense. But there is probably 100 foot of cable here that, after 10 foot of run, gonna be coiled up inside. So that's interesting. All right, little trick from 20 years ago when I used to be a cable guy. We'd always install what's called a drip loop. So as water is pouring down outside your house, it's going to follow this cable down. And if you go straight into your penetration, you could potentially have water pouring in over time, creating damage. You could potentially have an issue with rot and other things if you're allowing water to penetrate. So always do a drip loop, and then on our penetration, lots and lots of silicone to make sure that we don't have any trouble. All right, moment of truth. I'm getting ready to plug this thing in.
What are you doing? Nice moves, Ollie.
Oh my goodness. That is fast compared to what we've had. Wow. Wow, that is blazing fast compared to what we've had. I'll do some speed tests just to compare, but I went ahead and opened up YouTube to see how fast it would open up and play a video, and just boom, lightning fast. As soon as you click the button, it starts playing. No lag. Our internet was so poor they would bog between the commercials and the videos that were playing, and it's just immediate. So wow, I'm super impressed thus far. I think it's still dialing itself in because it's popping in and out, but it's staying online more and more. So I think it's dialed. I think it's dialing itself in. We've been paying about $150 a month for internet that is just pretty much Stone Age, and this is I don't even have words for it. It's amazing. So we're gonna play with it here for a little bit and test some stuff out and see how it does. But first impressions, oh my gosh.
So it has been exactly 2 weeks since we installed, and when I say we, I mean Robert, since Robert installed the Starlink internet. And what are your thoughts on it?
It is light years ahead of our existing provider that we had.
Yes, that is exactly how I feel. It's actually night and day difference from what we were dealing with before as far as internet.
And it's really difficult to run an internet-based business without internet. So we have a side business on YouTube, but also many times I'm on web conferences and things from home. Without internet, it's been a very difficult situation.
Yeah, it has been quite the trial and very frustrating at times. There's been times with our previous internet provider where our internet has gone down for one reason or another, and they don't send somebody out for 2 weeks. In fact, one of the last times that happened, they scheduled me 2 weeks out because that was the soonest they had. I tried to explain that I work from home and I'm losing income. The longer that they take, they did not care. So they scheduled me 2 weeks out, and then the technician no-showed. So I called back, got another appointment for a week out. The technician no-showed again. So finally, on the third try, the technician finally showed up, and at that point we were 3 weeks from having, like, it had been 3 weeks since we'd had internet available out here. So that also means no ability to call for emergency services. We're not able to dial 911 if there was an injury. So that's kind of a big deal. That gets really frustrating really fast. So it's really nice to have this system that's kind of a plug-and-play unit.
It is very nice that this system will auto-orient itself. You just simply plug it in and it does its thing. So should eliminate the need for any call-outs for readjustments and that sort of thing. We're glad to have another option finally in our area.
Starlink is a night and day difference from what we had before. Things run so much faster, smoother. The only issue that we have run into thus far was last night. We seemed to be breaking out
So the signal was dropping out for like 5-10 seconds at a time. Maybe over the course of 10 or 15 minutes it would drop out 4 or 5 times for 5 to 10 seconds. So I had to reset the modem. I reset it today and it's working flawlessly again. So I don't know if that's a thing or not, but I guess if we notice that issue happening again, reset it and it'll redo its thing. I have to do that every so often with Viasat. We'd have to unplug it and let it sit for a minute and replug it. And I know that's a cliche IT thing, but it many times does resolve a lot of issues. This is just kind of our initial setup and feelings on it after a couple weeks.
So when we talk about the frustrations of trying to run an internet-based business at home, one of the things, I worked in the medical community and was able to work from home for the last 3 or 4 years, somewhere in there. And my speed on my computer, my remote login would have a significant lag. Also, having YouTube as a side gig, with YouTube we are not able to upload videos from home. It just wouldn't do it. It would take hours and hours and hours, and then inevitably,
and you hope it doesn't error out in the middle of it.
and that would be what would happen every time. It would error out, the computer would shut down. That is not the case anymore. By the time I hit the upload button and then I start putting in all the details for the video, by the time I'm done getting all the details in, the video is already up. So that has been a real game changer.
Yeah, so like a 10-minute video, roughly a gig of data, will upload in 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. So what we were having to do before was either edit everything on our phones and then, or edit it to the computer or transfer it to the phone, and then we'd have to drive to town to upload it, which just made it significantly more difficult. Also, Robert works from home a lot of times and he has conference calls, and I will always hear his workmates say, "Oh, you must be at home because your internet is terrible. You keep cutting out." And it makes a huge difference for us, and like I said, it's really a game changer. So I'm pretty excited to have this other option. Like we said, we're 2 weeks in, and so far I would say it's definitely been a huge win.
I think I'm ready to pull the plug on Viasat and have them come and take their dish.
I think so.
All right, thanks so much for watching, guys. Hope this helped you if you are looking into Starlink, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Bye.